Welcome, traveler, to Third Eye Frequency, where every connection is a side quest, every emotional disaster contains hidden lore, and sometimes the universe hands you a relationship so psychologically confusing, it qualifies as a humanitarian crisis. I'm your host, the Neon Priestess. And tonight's MiniQuest begins the same way many rescue missions do, with someone saying, No, I can fix this.
The stewardess said both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Doctor, I've checked everyone. Mr. Stryker's the only one.
Except the this in question turned out to be emotional unavailability, spiritual exhaustion, mixed signals, unresolved trauma, and a connection held together almost entirely by chemistry and delusion.
You're gonna have to talk me down. I got some damage.
Wait, hold it! Okay, Topper. Ease her in.
Landing gear's frozen.
Looking good.
Lost my radar.
Okay, a little more power now.
I'm out of fuel.
Prep for lineup.
Lost a wing.
Doing fine.
There goes the other one.
Because today's cards tell the story of a traveler who slowly realized they weren't participating in a romance subplot. They were volunteering as emergency emotional support staff. And the truly insidious part? The attraction was real. The passion was real. Hell, the spiritual connection may have even been motherfucking real. But somewhere along the way, what seemed like love quietly transformed into a rescue mission. And tonight's quest asks the question, what happens when the person you're trying to save is draining the life out of you faster than you can replenish it? So, traveler, let's begin today's mini-quest, Shadow Work Gone Right, when love becomes a rescue mission. Is this you? Follow me to the vibe check to confirm. Welcome to the Vibe Check Lounge Frequency Collective. Today's energy comes to us from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, for which I have drawn the comic and the creator. The comic survives through humor, the creator through meaning. So together, this is the energy of somebody who can transform heartbreak into philosophy, trauma into art, yearning into fantasy, and emotional confusion into a fully cinematic internal monologue with custom lighting and a synthwave soundtrack. But here's the problem. Sometimes people with this energy become so good at understanding others, holding space, seeing potential, rewriting narratives, and finding beauty inside damaged things, that they accidentally begin treating emotional suffering like a creative collaboration project. So suddenly, instead of asking, does this relationship nourish me? The soul starts asking, but what if I can save them? The comic says, laugh through the pain. The creator says, transform the pain. But together, they can accidentally convince themselves that enduring emotional chaos is somehow spiritually meaningful. And that is where today's rescue mission begins. Because today's energy feels like somebody slowly realizing they've spent so much time trying to rescue wounded people that nobody noticed the rescuer was drowning too. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, identify the difference between love, potential, chemistry, and emotional life support. Potential rewards include restored self-worth, emotional clarity, healthier attachment stats, and the horrifying realization that peace is actually kind of sexy. So, If you are emotionally prepared to investigate the wreckage, let's proceed to the main spread and recover the hidden lore. Alright, traveler, the rescue mission officially begins here. For this section, I have drawn Ace of Wands, clarified by the Emperor with the Devil bridging the connection. And immediately, this does not feel like casual attraction. This feels like the kind of connection that enters your life wearing expensive boots, intense eye contact, unresolved trauma, and enough gravitational pull to compromise the entire structural integrity of your self-confidence.
She was the most overwhelmingly feminine presence I've ever encountered. And horrible.
The Ace of Wands says, this begins with ignition, chemistry, curiosity, excitement, the unmistakable feeling of, wow, this person is activating entire regions of my personality I thought were under government restriction. And then the Emperor appears, controlled, composed, strategic, protective, competent. The kind of person who looks emotionally stable enough to survive a military tribunal while secretly white-knuckling their own internal collapse. This is the energy of somebody who may appear grounded, successful, self-controlled, or emotionally difficult to access. And, unfortunately for some of you, your soul saw that emotional restraint and immediately said, excellent, a new psychological excavation project. But the Devil bridging these cards changes fucking everything. Because the Devil says this connection doesn't just create attraction, it creates attachment, obsession, compulsion, fixation, the feeling of being magnetically pulled towards something your intuition already suspects may become emotionally expensive. And this is where the rescue mission quietly activates, because some of you didn't fall in love with chaos. You fell in love with potential, with the hidden softness underneath the armor, the humanity beneath the control, the hurt beneath the performance.
You do this. What? Not without a life jacket.
Dane! I'm coming!
Madam, you really should play a little hard to get.
Tell my mother I'll call her! Ah!
And slowly, probably without even realizing it, the connection stopped feeling like, who is this intriguing person? And started feeling more like, how do I reach them? And perhaps more importantly, why has my nervous system suddenly appointed me Director of Emergency Emotional Services? CyberWylie, can you give us a status report, please? Some of you may recognize this stage, the hyperfixation, the analyzing, the emotional pattern recognition, the feeling that if you can just understand them deeply enough, love might finally stabilize the situation. But, Frequency Traveler, the Devil card has entered the chat specifically to warn you. Chemistry can absolutely mimic destiny, while simultaneously destroying your emotional oxygen supply.
1 tank of oxygen. Andy.
Yeah?
How long will 1 tank last?
12 hours. That's not enough. We'll need more for re-entry. At least another hour.
And for some of you, this was the moment the rescue mission quietly turned into mutual destruction with a clever artist statement. Okay, Traveler, this is the part of the mission where the emotional reality starts breaching containment. For this section, I have drawn Ace of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the Ten of Cups in reverse, with the Nine of Pentacles bridging the connection. And this combination feels like the horrifying moment somebody realizes, this may not actually become the future I imagined. Because in upright, the Ace of Pentacles is stability, commitment, foundation, something real taking root in the physical world. But in reverse, this is the dream struggling to materialize, plans stalling, promises remaining hypothetical, potential without sustainable follow-through. And then we have the Ten of Cups reversed entering the chat like, excellent. Now let's emotionally investigate the difference between fantasy fulfillment and actual compatibility. Because this card combination feels like somebody trying to hold on to the idea of emotional happiness while quietly realizing the relationship itself may not actually be capable of providing it consistently.
Hey, baby doll. What's for dinner?
And some of you may recognize this stage. The stage where you keep telling yourself, they're trying, they're healing, the timing is complicated, and we just need to get through this stupid phase. But underneath all of it, your nervous system has already started detecting structural instability. And Traveler, I regret to inform you that CyberWylie has requested a second opinion. Interesting. CyberWylie, are you able to calculate the emotional casualty rate of the situationship? And this is where the Nine of Pentacles becomes incredibly important, because the Nine of Pentacles represents self-worth, self-sufficiency, emotional maturity, the quiet realization that love should enhance your life, not consume your survival resources like a fucking haunted space station running on backup generators. This card says, part of you is beginning to remember who you were before you started emotionally over-investigating in this rescue mission. And that realization creates conflict, because once you begin reconnecting with your own value, you can no longer comfortably romanticize emotional scarcity. And frequency friend, that is where the mission starts changing, because now the soul is no longer asking, how do I save this connection? It's starting to ask, why the fuck have I been fighting so hard for something that cannot fully meet me where I am? Alright, Frequency Traveler, this is the part of the mission where somebody finally notices the rescue team is running out of oxygen.
Command control, Max's code.
Morse code.
Max's code.
Damn, they're talking to us! We got Morse code! Jack, get over here, translate this!
For this section, I have drawn the Five of Pentacles, clarified by the Page of Wands, with the Six of Swords bridging the connection. And honestly, this feels like the moment where the soul stops asking, how do I save them? And starts asking, why the fuck am I dying in here? CyberWylie, do you have an updated status? Because the Five of Pentacles is emotional depletion. This is what happens when somebody spends so much energy managing another person's wounds that they stop noticing their own. The Five of Pentacles is saying, some of you became so focused on keeping the mission alive that you quietly abandoned yourself in the process. Your needs became negotiable, your boundaries became flexible, your loneliness became background noise. And somewhere along the way, survival started masquerading as devotion.
Done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
But then the Page of Wands arrives like a tiny emergency flare launched into the darkness. Because the Page of Wands doesn't bring certainty, it brings possibility, curiosity, a glimpse of a future that doesn't revolve around monitoring somebody else's emotional weather forecast. This card feels like the first moment somebody remembers, wait a minute, I actually have a life, a future, a story that exists outside of this one-sided rescue mission. And that realization changes the whole situation, because now the Six of Swords enters the chat, carrying evacuation paperwork. And the Six of Swords is not dramatic. It's not revenge, it's not slamming doors while orchestral music plays. It's simply the soul recognizing staying hurts more than leaving. Alright, Frequency Collective, we have officially arrived at the final phase of the rescue mission. For this section I have drawn the Hierophant, clarified by the Eight of Cups, with the Page of Pentacles bridging the connection. And this combination feels like somebody spiritually uninstalling an entire relationship belief system. Because the Hierophant represents tradition, conditioning, relationship programming, the inherited emotional rules that quietly shaped what you believed love was supposed to feel like. And for some of you, this reading is exposing the horrifying possibility that your nervous system accidentally got certified in Advanced Emotional Crisis Management. Congratulations! Your nervous system has successfully completed 300 hours of red flag interpretation, 200 hours of potential-based investing, and a master's degree in unpaid therapeutic labor. The Hierophant says, somewhere along the way, you learned that love required endurance, sacrifice, patience, self-abandonment. And then the Eight of Cups arrives, bottle washed ashore after a long voyage, carrying a single message. Respectfully, absolutely the fuck not. Because the Eight of Cups is the soul walking away from what it can no longer spiritually digest. And what makes this card so powerful is that, yes, the cups are broken, but they're still fucking standing. And this is not always about hatred or betrayal or dramatic villain speeches during a thunderstorm. Sometimes the connection was real. Sadly, the love may have even been real. But the emotional cost became unsustainable. And that shit changes everything, because now the departure is no longer punishment, it's self-respect. And then the Page of Pentacles appears like the world's tiniest emotional recovery coordinator. This card says, after all this chaos, the soul is finally ready to learn something different. Something other than trauma bonding disguised as cosmic destiny or new emotional parkour moves. Something other than decoding text messages like the Zodiac Killer left clues in your fucking iPhone notifications. The Page of Pentacles says, yes, healing may initially feel less intoxicating than chaos, but it also doesn't require your nervous system to apply for FEMA assistance. And Traveler, the real shadow work was never becoming better at surviving emotionally unstable connections. It was learning that love should not require you to abandon yourself in order to fucking maintain it.
All right. That was close. Finally. They got air!
Alright, Traveler. After the wreckage, after the rescue mission, after the emotional CPR, the psychological OSHA violations, we arrive here at the final outcome. And for this section, I have drawn the Three of Wands with the Five of Cups for your advice card. And to be honest, this ending feels fucking enormous.
Something's definitely going on down there. activist pinging back something really big. It's huge, and it's coming up right underneath us.
Where?
Where? It's everywhere. There, starboard bow.
Because the Three of Wands is the card of the horizon returning. Expansion, forward movement. The moment the soul finally realizes, hey, there is life beyond this emotional survival bullshit. This card says, the mission is ending, but the journey isn't. And some of you are entering a season where your energy begins gradually shifting away from monitoring, waiting, analyzing, hoping, decoding, rescuing, and back toward actually fucking living. And timing-wise, this spread feels transitional rather than instantaneous. The Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, and Three of Wands together suggest the emotional departure may already be underway, but the full energetic expansion unfolds gradually over the coming months. But then we need to talk about the Five of Cups, because the advice here isn't pretend this didn't hurt. The Five of Cups says, allow yourself to grieve honestly. The lost time, the imagined future, the version of yourself who believed they could save this. And frequency friend, that grief deserves compassion, because some of these connections were meaningful. They did fucking change you, but the Five of Cups quietly turns you towards the cups that are still standing. And that is the final lesson of this entire mini-quest. The soul was never being punished because it loved deeply. It was being asked to stop pouring that love exclusively into emotionally unreachable places. So, perhaps the real rescue mission was never about saving another person. It was about returning to yourself before the waves convinced you that drowning was the same fucking thing as devotion. And now, Frequency Collective, before you officially evacuate the emotional disaster zone, grab your D12. If you don't own one, honestly, after this reading, your soul may already be rolling enough critical emotional damage as it is. Just use the virtual dice portal linked below. Tonight's roll will determine what final lesson your spirit is attempting to recover from the wreckage of this rescue mission. So, Traveler, did you save yourself? Or are you still emotionally volunteering for missions nobody fucking assigned to you? The dice will decide. If you rolled a 1 or a 2, you get the Emotional Support Paramedic lesson. You keep trying to stabilize people who should honestly be speaking to licensed professionals. Your lesson is learning that attraction does not automatically make you spiritually responsible for somebody's character development. And if you rolled a 3 or a 4, you get the Romantic OSHA Violation lesson. This connection had poor boundaries, structural instability, unsecured emotional wiring, and at least 17 ignored warning signs. Your lesson? Stop treating red flags like they're fucking collectible trading cards. And if you rolled a 5 or a 6, you get the Fantasy Patch Update lesson. Your soul is uninstalling the belief that potential counts as a functioning relationship. Sometimes what starts off as incredible chemistry and stunning lore can abso-fucking-lutely turn into a devastating long-term operational outlook. If you rolled a 7 or an 8, you get the Nervous System Recall Notice lesson. Your body has officially stopped mistaking anxiety for excitement. Congratulations on discovering that peace may actually be way fucking hotter than emotional espionage. If you rolled a 9 or a 10, you get the Evacuation Clearance lesson. This role says the departure is already happening emotionally, even if your heart hasn't fully caught up yet. Some part of you already knows, this ship is sinking, bitch.
Gentlemen, it has been a privilege playing with you tonight.
And lastly, if you rolled an 11 or a 12, you get the main character restoration lesson. Your soul is finally returning to itself after a prolonged period of romantic side quest bullshit. The lesson here? You were never meant to become a full-time employee inside someone else's emotional apocalypse. Frequency Traveler, congratulations on surviving today's rescue mission. Because if this reading taught us anything, it's that some of us were not actually falling in love. We were volunteering for emotionally hazardous recovery operations with people who look deeply mysterious under cinematic lighting.
Okay, this is how I see dating. I'll lose most of you. It's worth it. Dating is like a highway, and men are broken down cars on the side of the road. And when you're young, every dude's an option. That guy ran out of gas, that guy's engine's on fire, we can fix this. This is so fixable.
So, instead of sending another emotionally confusing situationship, it sent you a mirror. A mirror called Shadow Work Gone Bright, When Love Becomes a Rescue Mission. Which spiritually translates to, congratulations, your attraction patterns are evolving beyond survival mode. And somewhere between the sinking ship, the emergency alarms, the grief, the evacuation, and the horrifying realization that chemistry alone cannot a kingdom sustain, you finally fucking remembered. Duh. Love is not supposed to require self-abandonment in order to survive. And hey, if this mini-quest resonated, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling the Frequency Collective what emotional side quest has your soul finally stopped trying to save? This is the Neon Priestess, signing off the signal. And remember, Traveler, sometimes the real rescue mission is learning that you deserve to be chosen before you started fucking drowning.